The 5 suspects arrested in connection with the torching of trucks appeared in Ermelo Magistrate Court today. The matter has been postponed to July 27th to wait for the accused legal representation. All suspects have been charged with robbery with aggravating circumstances, malicious damage to property, as well as attempted murder. This follows the torching of over 20 trucks in different parts of the country in just one weekend. Our senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is tracking the story for us, and he joins us now live from Ermelo. Aviwe, just explain to us in terms of the many charges that the NPA has levelled against these accused.
Afternoon, Maseko, and it's robbery with aggravating circumstances, malicious damage to property, 2 counts of that, as well as attempted murder. Of course, that's for the 9 trucks that have been torched in Mpumalanga, specifically in 2 separate incidences. So the 5 accused here made the first appearance at the Ermelo Magistrate Court. We understand it's 4 truck drivers and 1 former truck drivers. In fact, I had a word with the MEC of Community Safety in Mpumalanga, who suggests that they have the correct people. Remember that some of these corridors that they drive in and some of these toll plazas, in fact, have cameras. So the MEC seems to suggest that they have the right people. And in fact, this is just the beginning of those that are still going to be charged and going to be sitting in the dock, just like the 5 that we saw here just a bit earlier on. In fact, let's take a listen to Vusi Shongwe, the MEC of Community Safety in Mpumalanga.
We're definitely sure that we have the 5 correct people according to the police and the information that the police have. You must remember that some of them are appearing on the cameras of the N4 road towards your Mozambique, and that one, the N2 to your Peter Tief direction between Ermelo and Peter Tief. So we are confident, we trust our police that they have arrested the right people.
Talk to us more, Aviwe, about the allegations of assault by police officers.
Yes, that's one of the allegations made by the accused here. We understand that they say that when they were arrested, they were assaulted brutally by police. In fact, accused number 3 has visible scars. So they were asking the magistrate here, Magistrate Masango, that they can get medical attention. And in fact, Magistrate Masango suggested that that message will be passed on to the police and that medical attention will be given. But for the time being, they remanded in custody up until they appear again on the 27th of July. That's then for the official legal representation as well as for the official bail application. But we do understand, of course, according to the MEC of Community Safety, Vusi Shongwe, that these may be fabricated accusations, the accusations of assault, suggesting that they've heard this time and again. He says that he's been an MEC for a long period, and these may just be stunts just to pose questions and poke holes, of course, to the matter that's before them. But they suggest that they'll be making more arrests here, and of course we can expect more people to come here. But this particular matter has been postponed to the 27th of July, where we can expect then the official bail application, Maseko.
And I noticed that the accused came into the dock, Aviwe, of course, just covering their faces, etc., except for one particular man. But you might remember that video, Aviwe, that did the rounds on social media showing a guy setting a truck alight. Did you spot that guy among the 5 accused?
It was difficult to spot clearly any of them, except for that gentleman who actually was brave enough to show their face. Even when the magistrate asked them to just show their faces, it was difficult to make who these people were. But it doesn't seem like that particular person, of course, Maseko, was part of the 5. Hence, we've been promised that more arrests are on the card. And in fact, multidisciplinary teams have been placed, suggesting that we've seen the end of the torching of the trucks. But it's the motive, of course, that's still questionable at this stage. I asked the MEC of Community Safety here, Vusi Shongwe, what's behind these attacks? And he seems to suggest, one, it might be disgruntled former employees. In the case of the one former employees of the companies that actually fired some of them. The other, of course, is that ongoing issues, because this is not the first incident of torching of trucks, especially around Mpumalanga. So there are those issues between the truck drivers themselves, which seems to suggest that the South African truck drivers don't want any foreign nationals to be the ones behind the steering wheels of the trucking industry. Another suggestion, of course, that we heard just over the weekend from the Police Minister Pegicele is economic sabotage when it comes to these coal tenders. So not clear essentially on what actually is behind the motive of the torching of the trucks, but the police promise that they have, they grip on things now, and we may have seen the last of these torching of trucks, but there have been further arrests that are promised and that will be made soon.
And just lastly, Aviwe, and very quickly, I know that the MEC of Community Safety in Mpumalanga was among those in the public gallery. It was also quite a packed public gallery. Were family members of the accused also there?
Well, if they were keeping mum, Maseko. None came forward to suggest that they were family members. In fact, when we made our way in, there had been previous cases and matters that have been heard, so we're not actually sure whether they're part of the actual family or some of them were, in fact, in attendance of the previous matters. And then, of course, with the glare of the cameras, we're just interested on maybe what's happening here. But what we do know is that all of the 5 that have been arrested and appeared here, making their first appearance, are from Mpumalanga, different parts and towns of Mpumalanga, but all from Mpumalanga. So the question is, what about the rest? Because we do understand that at least 21 trucks have been torched in recent times in July, not only in Mpumalanga. It's only 9 in Mpumalanga on 2 different incidences, but that leaves at least another 11 on other different separate incidents in and around KwaZulu-Natal, for example. So what's happening in those matters? When can we see arrests? And the police will tell you, both the General Police National Commissioner Fani Masimula as well as the Police Minister Pegicele will tell you that there are imminent arrests that we can expect from, of course, those torching of trucks, at least 12 others, that if you separate the 9 that have been torched in Mpumalanga.
All right, senior reporter Aviwe Mtila live for us there in Ermelo after that court case against the 5 men accused of torching those trucks in just one weekend. Thank you. Let's leave it there for now.